get comfortable because I have a long book for you today. It's called Deadliest Animals. It is by Melissa Stewart. Okay, look at that picture. Deadliest Animals. The table of contents says that we're going to start with deadly surprises. Then we're going to go to mighty hunters. Deadly surprises. Huge teeth. Check. Razor sharp claws. Check. Fast and fierce. Check. See, it says over here. It says, the African lion has all the features you'd expect to find in one of the world's deadliest animals. These powerful predators are skillful stalkers that usually hunt together in groups called prides and can take down prey 10 times their size. That's why people often call lions the kings of the jungle. There's some big words on that page. Powerful predators. Predators are hunters. Okay? And the other big word was, where to go? Stalkers. Okay, stalkers. Have you ever seen a cat sneaking up on a mouse? They stalk it. Okay, they follow it very quietly until they can attack it. The mouse would be their prey, and they're a predator trying to get their prey. Ooh, look at that picture. That is a real picture of. It says, but are lions the deadliest animals of all? That's a good question. What do you think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? It says not quite. I bet we're going to learn about some deadlier animals. It says lions certainly score high on the deadliest list, but they don't take the #1 spot. And if you think all of Earth's most dangerous creatures are big, fierce hunters, you're in for some surprises. Kangaroos. Surprise #1. Some deadly animals eat only plants. It says, let me show you the picture right there. Can you see that right there? Red kangaroos spend their days quietly nibbling on grasses, but when they feel threatened, watch out. A hard kick in the chest can break a person's ribs and collapse his lungs. Well, you don't want to get in a fight with a kangaroo, do you? I'm going to put on my granny glasses. I think it'll help me a little bit. Okay. Surprise #2. Right here. That one right there. Can I get a little closer for you? Surprise #2. Some deadly animals are smaller than the palm of your hand. Oak processionary caterpillars are only 2 inches long, but beware of their hairy bristles. They can cause rashes, asthma attacks, and even deadly allergic reactions. So I guess we better not pick up those kinds of caterpillars, but it doesn't tell us where we might find them at, so we can be careful, does it? And it kind of looks like a familiar caterpillar, but I bet if those caterpillars lived around here, we would be warned. Don't you think somebody would say to us, don't pick up those caterpillars? So nobody's ever told me that. Surprise #3. Some deadly animals may be closer than you think. Rattlesnakes live throughout the United States, and they bite about 8,000 people each year. Even though rattlesnake venom is deadly, most people get treated quickly and survive. Okay, that one I do have to worry about because we see rattlesnakes when we go up to our cabin. In fact, I even had to shoot one once because Mr. Wright was not there. Yeah. Deadly definitions. Allergic. When the body responds to something with a rash, breathing trouble, or even death. Yeah, so being allergic is kind of serious, isn't it? Venom is a poisonous liquid inside some animals' bodies. I bet you knew about allergic and venom already. All right, this one is mighty hunters. Mighty hunters, polar bears. The polar bear is the largest land predator alive today. Like a lion, a polar bear is a skilled hunter that knows exactly when and how to attack. The clever carnivore, a carnivore is an animal that eats meat, looks for a hole in the ice and waits. When a seal comes up for air, the polar bear pounces and grabs the seal with its sharp teeth. There it is, a picture of it eating a seal. Here's a question for us. Why do camels want to be like polar bears? I think it might be a joke. Here the answer is because polar bears know how to chill out. Don't you think a camel would want to chill out? A camel's probably hot. Huh? That's kind of funny. Saltwater crocodiles. Saltwater's like they have at the ocean, isn't it? Saltwater crocodiles are just as fierce as polar bears and just as patient, too. Patient means like waiting calmly, doesn't it? Lurking below the water's surface, a croc lies in wait for its prey. When an unsuspecting animal passes by, the 1,000-pound beast explodes out of the water, grabs its victim, and drags it under the water to drown. Yikes! Oh my goodness. And look at it, it's all green. That looks like it's in the grass, but that's just green stuff growing on top of the water. That probably makes it really easy for it to hide under there. It says the saltwater crocodile is the most deadly large predator. It can easily take down a water buffalo and has even been known to kill sharks off the coast of Australia. Wow. Big and brutal. Whoa, look at that. That's a hippopotamus. Remember, if there's more than one, we say hippopotami. We know these things now, don't we? Hippopotamuses. They said hippopotamuses. Well, I think you can say it both ways. I like to say hippopotami. Hippopotamuses are usually gentle giants. During the day, they lounge and snooze in shallow water holes. At night, they lumber onto land and munch on grasses and leaves. But if a boat gets between a hippo and the deep water, or between a mother and her calf, the animal will panic. It may tip over the boat and attack the passengers with its powerful jaws. Oh. This is weird but true. A hippo can outrun you on land and outswim you in the water. You don't stand a chance against an angry hippo. So I guess the best thing is never make a hippo angry. You like my granny glasses? You can call me Granny. Elephants. Ooh, look at that. Like hippos, elephants are usually calm, peaceful animals. But when an elephant feels threatened, it will attack. The huge herbivore, and remember we heard carnivore, now we're hearing herbivore. An herbivore eats plants, and a carnivore eats meat. The huge herbivore can stab enemies with its tusks and crush them with its feet. Sometimes it grabs an attacker with its trunk and tosses the possible threat into the air. Ooh. Elephants are the largest animals on land, so they can do a lot of damage. Here's another question and answer. Why were the elephants kicked off the beach? I think it's a joke. Why were the elephants kicked off the beach? They were walking around with their trunks down. Their trunks down? I think that's a play on the word trunks, because elephants have trunks. But what do people wear on the beach called trunks? Could it be swim trunks? They're walking around with their trunks down? Yeah, you'd get kicked off the beach if you walked around with your trunks down, wouldn't you? Cape buffalo. I've heard about this one. Mr. Wright talks about the Cape buffalo. He told me that they're the only animal that will hunt you back. Let's see if that's true. Cape buffaloes. Large herds of Cape buffaloes graze hour after hour on thick grasses. It might seem like they're focusing on their food, but they're also on the lookout for danger. When these huge, hulking animals feel angry or scared, they charge at enemies with their heads down. Often they charge together as a group. A stampede of Cape buffaloes can kill predators quickly with their sharp hoofs and hooked horns. Well, it didn't talk about that, so I don't know if Mr. Wright's correct or not. I'll probably have to Google it. It says death toll. In Africa, Cape buffaloes are known as Black Death due to their dark color and their ferocious nature. I just got to show you this one up close. I want you to look at his tongue. It's kind of creepy. Can you see that right there? That guy's tongue. Is it close enough? Okay. Scary snakes. Well, I don't like any kind of snake, but let's find out about these ones. Let me show you the picture first. Scary snakes. Okay. About 3,000 species of snakes live on Earth, and most of them make venom. Remember the poison that they have in their bodies? Snakes use venom to kill prey and protect themselves from enemies. Makes sense. Most snakes are too small or too shy to attack humans, but about 300 species can kill a person who's in the wrong place at the wrong time. It says toxic tidbit. Tidbit is a little bit of information, so let's find out what that is. The Indian cobra's venom isn't as toxic as the venom of some other snakes, but it often lives close, but not the venom, but the snake, the Indian cobra, lives close to people, and that makes it a major threat. Indian cobra bites kill thousands of people each year in Asia. Ooh, I'm glad I don't live by them. We've got some creepy snakes looking here. Why is it hard to fool a snake? Because you can't pull its leg. Have you heard that figure of speech before, that expression? I'm just pulling your leg. When somebody's teasing you and it's not really true, they say, I'm just pulling your leg. So let's think about that again. Why is it hard to fool a snake? Because you can't pull its leg. That's funny. Oh, more about snakes. Which snake is the deadliest of all? That's a hard question to answer. There's a hook-nosed sea snake right there. Got it right there? Okay. This fish-hunting reptile lives in coastal waters and has the most poisonous venom of any snake. Just one drop can kill a person. Whoa. Like other snakes, it has lungs and breathes air, but it can stay underwater for up to 5 hours. And then Russell's viper. Okay, you want to see this picture because it looks like he's getting the venom out of the fangs of the snake. He must know how to do it. He's got it held just so. See that right there? Yeah. It says Russell's viper. This snake lives in rice paddies and grassy areas of Asia and may bite farmers. Its venom isn't quite as toxic as the hook-nosed sea snake's venom, but it has more toxin in its body. That means it delivers more venom in each bite. The black mamba. Other snakes may have stronger venom, but the black mamba moves fast and isn't afraid to attack. When an enemy gets too close, the black mamba raises its head high and hisses. If the predator doesn't back off, the snake strikes again and again. I hope I never run into a snake like that raises its head and hisses at me like that. I think I would have probably cried. I would run home crying all the way. I would probably be screaming. You know, I feel like we should put a bookmark in it. But you know, you can always hit pause on this and watch it later, or remember where you're at and scroll forward. Let's keep going. Ferocious fish. The great white shark. The great white shark is the largest meat-eating fish in the ocean. The sight of its huge mouth and 3,000 jagged teeth would send shivers up anyone's spine. What makes this shark so dangerous? Its super senses. Remember we learned about our 5 senses? It hears well and has excellent eyesight. Most important, its sense of smell is 10,000 times better than ours. And that's a lot better, isn't it? It says a great white shark can smell tiny amounts of blood in the water up to 3 miles away. And it looks like there's a picture of a surfboard that got a bite out of it from a great white shark. A stonefish. This fish is very camouflaged. He looks like a stone, doesn't he? A stonefish. Stonefish are masters of disguise. Instead of swimming in search of food, they blend into their rocky surroundings and wait for prey to pass. To pass by, I mean. If a hungry predator grabs a stonefish or a person accidentally steps on one, 13 spiky spines deliver a painful blast of venom. The wound swells, the victim's muscles feel weak, and the area becomes paralyzed. Paralyzed means you can't move it, or maybe not even feel it. If the person isn't treated, he or she could die. Okay, so be careful if you're walking where there are stonefish. You can't really walk anyway, can you, in the water? You have to swim. Ooh, what is that? A pufferfish. When an enemy attacks, a pufferfish gulps water and blows up like a prickly balloon. But that's not the fish's only trick for protection. If a predator manages to take a bite of a pufferfish, it gets a mouthful of nasty tasting toxins. Yuck! And then here it says death toll. Even though a pufferfish has enough toxin to kill 30 people, some people like to take risks. They eat pufferfish prepared by specially trained chefs because the chefs sometimes make mistakes. The toxin kills about 100 people every year. I don't think I would take that risk. I don't really need to eat pufferfish. I wonder if that's a nose. Look at that thing again. See that thing? Cool things about deadly animals. Number 1, female lions do most of the hunting, but male lions always eat first. Now that doesn't sound very fair, does it? Number 2, on hot sunny days, a crocodile pants like a dog to stay cool. I like these fun facts. Number 3, most young fish are called fingerlings, but young sharks are called pups. Number 4, baby hippopotamuses are born underwater. I did not know that. Number 5, if you shine a black light on a scorpion, it glows in the dark. Now that would be good to have a black light if you're ever sleeping somewhere where there might be scorpions, huh? You could just shine the light around and make sure there's none in your room. Number 6, a jellyfish doesn't have a brain. Oh. Number 7, all snakes have teeth, but only snakes that make venom have fangs. Okay. And number 8, if an octopus loses an arm, another one will grow in its place. And number 9, some poison dart frogs contain enough toxin to kill 10 people. And number 10, a honeybee has 5 eyes, 3 small ones on top of its head and 2 large ones in front. No bones about it. Fish aren't the only sea creatures that can be hazardous to your health. Some ocean invertebrates can be just as deadly. An invertebrate means it doesn't have bones on its inside. Box jellyfish. You may have been stung by a jellyfish, but the box jellyfish is in a class by itself. Each of its tentacles has thousands of tiny stinging cells. Together they pack enough toxins to kill 60 people, and death can come in just 4 minutes. Okay, that's pretty deadly, isn't it? A box jellyfish's body is the size of a basketball, but its tentacles can be up to 9 feet long. That's why there's basketballs on that picture. Okay, you see that right there? The size of its body is 1 basketball, but with its tentacles, it's like all the way down there. What do whales like to eat with peanut butter? I bet you can figure this one out. What do whales like to eat with peanut butter? Jellyfish. I'm going to remember that one. Blue-ringed octopus. A blue-ringed octopus is the size of a golf ball, but it has a deadly bite. Most of the time, the octopus uses its toxic saliva to catch crabs and shrimp, but its powerful poison can paralyze up to 20 people. Within minutes, anything that attacks this little octopus stops breathing and dies. Oh. Weird but true. A blue-ringed octopus's skin is usually yellowish brown, but bright blue spots or rings suddenly appear when the octopus feels scared. Ooh, that's good to know, isn't it? Look at those. Small but deadly. The ocean isn't the only place on Earth with small, deadly creatures. They also live in fields and forests, wetlands, and deserts. Now they're going to tell us about the poison dart frog. Scientists think that poison dart frogs eat toxic insects that make them deadly. Touch the slimy skin of these brightly colored creatures and you could be dead in minutes. So scientists think the reason that they're deadly is because they eat poisonous insects. Yeah. Toxic tidbit, a little bit of information here. Some native rainforest peoples catch poison dart frogs, collect their venom, and rub it on darts they use to hunt. That's how the frogs got their name, poison dart frogs. So you get the poison on their dart, and then they shoot their dart or their arrow. Yeah, right there. That helps to kill their prey, doesn't it? This book is almost done, but oh my goodness, I did not need to see that picture. All right, if you don't like bees, you might want to close your eyes right now. Look at this guy right there. He's got bees all over him. I'm going to have a bad dream tonight. Honeybees. Oh, honeybees help us by pollinating many of our favorite fruits, vegetables, and nuts, but they can also be deadly. About 1 in 4,000 people is severely allergic to bee venom and can die after just one sting if left untreated. Okay? So it's like being allergic. Like some people are allergic to peanuts, some people are allergic to bees. But all the toxin from a stinging swarm of angry bees can kill anyone. So like if a whole bunch of bees landed on you like that and stung you all at the same time, yeah. But I think this guy is not, I think he's doing this on purpose. It says, bee bearding is the practice of attracting bees to the human body by hanging the queen from the chin. Okay, that's just weird. They hang the queen bee from the chin and then all the bees come land on them. It says, it doesn't say why they want to do that. But here's a joke for us. What happened when the honeybee called its hive? Called it on the phone? It got a buzzy signal. Get it? Like a busy signal. It got a buzzy signal. That's crazy. I guess they're not going to tell us why somebody wants to hang a queen bee from their chin and have all the bees from the hive land on them. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. Maybe they just, I don't know, maybe it feels really tickly and they like it. Scorpions. Didn't we just read about scorpions? Was that the one that made the blue light? Wasn't that the one that made you could shine the light and see them at night? And sometimes I have to flip back in the book so I can remember what I read. I can't find the page now. Looking. Oh yeah. If you shine a black light on a scorpion, it glows in the dark. Yeah, okay. That was right. Scorpions. There you go. You see that scorpion? It's not really that big. They blew up that picture. A scorpion's huge claw-like pincers are its weapon of choice. But if a predator attacks or its prey puts up a fight, zap! A swift strike with the stinger on its tail usually does the trick. The stinger contains a hollow tube connected to 2 sacs full of venom. The scorpion controls the amount of venom its stinger delivers, so bigger victims get a bigger dose. I'm looking at this picture here and I'm trying to figure out what's going on here in this picture. I know it must be something about a scorpion. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Or maybe it's a scorpion getting another insect. Of the nearly 2,000 scorpion species alive today, only 30 or 40 have venom strong enough to kill humans. That's good. Still, thousands of people die each year from scorpion stings. This is kind of a creepy book. And Mrs. Wright, what are you reading this book to me for? Huh? Sorry. Sydney Funnelweb Spider. Small and shiny, dark and deadly, that's how people in Australia describe the Sydney Funnelweb Spider. Most of the time, the spider uses its sharp fangs and deadly venom to catch insects and other prey. But if a person gets too close, the spider won't hesitate to bite. And that looks like a spider biting a lizard? You see that right there? Yeah. Toxic tidbit. Scientists developed medicine to protect people from Sydney Funnelweb spider venom in 1981. No one has died from its bite since. That was so nice of them to put that in there. That makes me feel better. Here's a joke for you. Question. Why do spiders spin webs? Answer. They don't know how to knit. Deadliest of all. Look at what we're ending up with. The deadliest of all. So what's the deadliest animal of all? The mosquito. That pesky little insect with the whiny hum. Mosquitoes carry some of the worst diseases on earth, including malaria and West Nile virus. And when a mosquito sucks blood from an animal, germs can enter the victim's body. That's why it's a good idea to use bug spray when there are insects around. From tiny mosquitoes to giant elephants, this is the conclusion of the whole book now they're telling you about. It's kind of like summing it all up and telling you about what we learned. From tiny mosquitoes to gigantic elephants, the world's deadliest animals come in all sizes and shapes. And they live in every habitat you can think of. But each of them has a special way of keeping themselves safe in a dangerous world. So yeah, it's mostly just to protect themselves. I think if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone, won't they? I get kind of freaked out when I read books like this, but then I just have to remind myself that, well, for one thing, most of those insects and animals don't live by me. I know we might see a rattlesnake once in a while around here, and I know we definitely have them at our cabin, but I know how to watch out for them. And mosquitoes, yeah, I try to wear bug spray so I don't get mosquito bites. I don't like mosquito bites. Yeah, but I hope that you're not too freaked out by that. I hope that was interesting for you. I thought it was really fascinating.